Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and as you can see we've got the ZX out again. Well, we haven't put it away yet, and what I thought actually before we put this away, let's actually get some software and play a few games on this thing. So what I've got here basically is the setup that I like to use when I'm not just messing about with a ZE or perhaps a Spectrum or something like that. We sat down here on my other desk that's in the workshop, the one you can see like kind of in the distance of most of my shots. This is what I made out of an old scanning electron microscope control computer, and it's really cool, this desk, because basically we go up like that. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3 monitors on it. So what I thought I'd like to do really is have a play about with different monitors, see how different monitors work on the ZX81. Basically this one here is just an old 4:3 LCD television. It's got just about every input you could want on it. The one in the centre here is actually an original screen from this when it was actually the control computer. That's the only one I could actually really use out of them. That's just a composite green screen monitor, and then over here we've got another monitor which is basically it's got composite input and an RGB input. So we've got 3 monitors we can really play with. And now I'll say now straight away, because I have been having a fiddle about off camera, I am not having much luck with the ZX and that particular monitor there. However, the other 2 seem to be working really quite nicely. So we'll have a look at those 2 monitors and see which one gives a really nice output for the ZX81. And we'll also have a quick look at how I'm actually getting some software into the ZX81. Now we've got an old Toshiba netbook here, and basically this is what I'm using instead of a cassette player to load software. Because I mean, I have got lots and lots of ZX81 software, original tapes on cassette. The reason I'm not using them is, really, every time you use them you are wearing them out. And they're all buried up in my attic, and I really don't want to go hunting around in the attic for them. And this is just it's just so much more convenient. What I found, I do have some bits of ZE software, you know, on other computers, but I just wanted some stuff that'd be interesting to play on here. Basically, interesting to play on the ZE. So I actually went online, and I was on YouTube looking at various other people's reviews of ZX81 games and stuff like that. So I picked a few that I thought might be interesting, and I went on to a really cool website which is called ZX81stuff.org. Now I'll leave a link in my description down to that. But essentially on that website they've got I think it's at least 600 ZX81 titles. You can either download them as a TZX file, as a .p file, or there is even an emulator built into the website, so you can play them online. If you don't actually have a ZX81 or you have no inclination of downloading an emulator and setting that up on one of your computers, you just want to have a quick fiddle with a ZE game, you can actually literally do that straight from the website, which I thought was a really cool idea. But I like running stuff on original hardware. That's, like I said, that's what I enjoy. So what I've done, I downloaded a few of the basically TZX files, and I'll just show you what I'm doing to actually get them to run on a real ZX81 here. We'll just let the old netbook fire up. Now this netbook is ancient. This has got an old 900 megahertz AMD Atom CPU in it, so it's not exactly a powerhouse or anything. It's not really suitable for going online anymore, but it is absolutely brilliant for what I'm using it for, which is just loading audio files. We'll get the computer all fired up, and we've already got some here. Basically these I've converted all into WAV files, so we've got a load of files here. Let me get you zoomed down so you can see the screen. See if I can get you so you can actually see what's happening on screen. There we go, that's better, isn't it? You can actually see what's happening now. And I tell you what I'm just going to do before I go any further. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to change the battery in my camera because I've just realised it's just about to die. So I'll just swap this battery out and then we'll be right back. Right, okay, that's battery change, so we hopefully shouldn't have any issues here now. So basically what I've got in here, if you look, is we've got all the TZX files. I've unzipped them out of the folder and just dropped them into the folder here. So we've got, you know, Bomber there, Breakout, various Breakouts, Galaxians, Pack Rabbit, I'm not sure what that actually is. But like I said, we've got quite a few bits of software there. But these are all TZX files. Which are great for running an emulator, or I believe there's even like an SD card solution you can get for the ZX81, and I think that can run TZX files, a bit like the one you can get for the back of a Spectrum. But we want audio files so we can play them through the laptop here straight into the ZX81, and to do that we need this great little piece of software. And I've got it here, it's called Tap to WAV. I'll get it on the middle of the screen there so you can see it. Now this, more importantly, this is Tap to WAV version 1.8 for Windows. There are other versions of Tap to WAV, and there's TZX to WAV, there's all various different ones. Tap to WAV is good because it'll support a lot of different files. It supports TZX, CDT, TAP files, CSW, and .p ZX tape files, which is basically just like a memory dump. Oh, it supports Z80, SNA, SZX, and SP. Literally, it can basically, if it's saved like from an emulator or something like that, this can actually play it back and turn it back into a WAV file, and it is simplicity itself to use. Unlike some of the command line versions, which are out there, have been out there for a long time, this is so much easier to use. You literally open it up like that, and I believe you can actually get this from the same place. You can get this from ZX81 stuff, I think. If not, I think you can get it from somewhere like World of Spectrum or one of the other Spectrum websites. But if you type in Tap to WAV version 1.8 in, you know, Google or whatever, I'm sure you'll find somewhere to download it from. And literally all we do with this is we take one of the TZX files that we've got. We've got let's see what we haven't converted already. Like, we've got Gauntlet there. So we've got the Gauntlet. All we do is get hold of it, drag it in, let go, give it a minute, and it spews the Gauntlet straight out there as a WAV file. That simple. So it basically does it in the same folder that you're actually working in, you know, you just round up all your WAV files and you've got them to use. It really is that simple. Really, really handy piece of software if you like messing with these older computers. This same software will work for a Spectrum as well. Anything basically that uses those file formats, it will work for, and it'll convert it back into a WAV file that you can use through a computer. So I mean, if I unplug the cable here and we just run one of them, let's run the Gauntlet. As you can hear, it just runs through and plays out the speaker. Stop that. We'll plug the lead back in. Oh, that's something else I'll just go over. Let's get you zoom back out. And we'll get you up on the screen so you can see the screens. And no, we won't. We'll get you down here so you can see what I'm talking about. One thing I have had to do is make up a lead for the headphones. So what we've got is we've got a stereo on that end with both left and right channels commoned inside to a mono connection on that side. Now when I was first trying this, I was trying it with just a straight stereo to stereo lead, and I could not get any single piece of software to load. When I made this lead up, so like I said, we've got stereo to mono, everything works fine. So we'll plug that into the headphone port on the front of the computer, and we'll plug it into the ear socket on the ZX81 like that. Let's get a monitor set up. In fact, I'll show you what this one's doing first, because this is the only one that I really can't get to work as an image. So we'll plug that monitor in. We'll switch on, and that should bring this monitor here up. We'll see it come up in a second. There we go. And if I plug power into it, we might occasionally just see it flick up with a bit of I've got that plugged in down there, yeah. But as you can see, it can't actually sync to the signal coming out of the ZX81 for some reason. We can see it's trying, but basically that monitor just won't work. It is a little bit flaky. It works brilliant with like an Amiga as an RGB monitor, but it's a little bit flaky otherwise. We'll try it on the... In fact, we'll try it on this green screen monitor next, because I know this one works the absolute best. So I'll switch the center screen on, which is this one, and we'll swap over to that input and check that out. Get you zoomed in. How nice an output is that for a ZX81? It's got a really you have to excuse a little bit of screen burn. Like I said, obviously this was an industrial monitor used on a scanning electron microscope for very many years, and we do have various bits of burn in there where it says how many kilovolts it was running through the electron microscope and stuff like that, and it's literally burnt in. But apart from that, this screen works absolutely fantastic with this ZX81, and I actually really like the fact that it's a green screen. Got a really nice strong black on it as well there. Just for comparison, I'll go over onto the other screen as well. Like I said, this is just an old LCD TV, really. I'll get you over onto that, and we'll switch that one on and get that to power up. This one takes a little second to come on. There we go. And I'll put the video signal from the ZE into that. As you can see with that, actually we get a really nice image on that as well. In fact, let's start with this one while we get this first piece of software loaded. So, we've got the laptop all set up, that's connected into the ZE. What I will do actually, I'm just going to pause the video and I'm going to move the camera around a little bit so you actually get a better shot of this screen, and you can actually see a bit better what's going on. So we'll say, back in a sec. Right, there we go, that's better. You can actually see the screen quite decent there now. So let's start with the first game. We're going to have to start with something classic and see how good this looks. So we'll go load, and you can see how nice and clear. I don't know if it's coming out really well on camera, but this is really nice and clear and easy to see on this screen. So we'll load this, press enter, that gets it started, and we will start our first game. As you can see, now this is the only issue with using this screen, as in it can't actually always sync to when the Z is loading, so you will get like that blue block out on it. But what I'll do is I'll pause the video and we'll come back when this is actually, to be honest, it's only a minute this one, so we'll let it run. It's nearly 30, it's nearly halfway through already. And you can actually see, and that's one of the good things with the ZX81 really. It doesn't exactly take hours and hours and hours for your software to load. In fact, I think something like 3D Monster Maze, which I think is about 4 minutes or something like that, is about one of the longest pieces of software that it actually takes to load on the ZX81. We've probably got about 20 seconds left of this to load. Like I said, the only real thing is where it loses sync using this monitor here. We don't have that issue with the green screen in the middle because it's purely analog. Hopefully we may have this, this may have loaded. Or is that actually a failed load? We may have a failed load there. Just bear with me a second and I will try and... Yeah, that is a failed load. Bear with me a second and I'll try and get that to actually load, so back in a sec. Right, there we go. I just had to increase the volume on the laptop ever so slightly and then it loaded absolutely first time. So we have Space Invaders for the ZX81. Now I believe this is not the 1K version. I think this is like a slightly... I don't know if it's a 16K version or the 2K version, to be honest. It didn't actually... Well, I think it did say, but I've forgotten. So let's play normal. So we'll hit N. And actually, as Space Invaders goes, it doesn't look too bad. I've got to remember what the... what fire is. Which button's fire? That's it. So one's fire. It uses the arrow keys, this. Oops. I'm destroying my bunkers. Never mind. That's one thing I will say about the ZX. It's not the easiest computer to actually play games on. Just by the sheer... The keyboard is is not conducive to playing games. But I suppose if that's all you had back in the day, then you are going to you're going to make it work. You're actually going to persevere with it. Let's give that one quick go again. See if we can at least hit someone. The problem is that you're trying to look at the screen and you're also trying to look down at the keyboard. Otherwise, you can't really work it. Oops. I'm still there at the moment. I am not very good at this. I will freely admit I am not very good at this. I don't actually know if I've hit any of their ships yet. Oh yeah, I have. And I died. But anyway, basically that is... Oh no, we're still going. That is Space Invaders on the ZX81. And I suppose, like I say, if you didn't have any other computer and that was your only Space Invaders, it was playable. It wasn't terrible. The only real problem is the keyboard controls, because you've basically got 5 for left, 8 for right, and 1 for fire. Which, as ZX81's games go, isn't the worst, but it's still very, very, very hard to play. Anyway, let's have a go at something else. Well, what we'll do as well is we'll swap over onto the other screen, because as though that looks nice, I just really like this green screen. So we'll shut that one off. And we'll go over to the green screen. In fact, we can play a bit of Space Invaders and green screen. What I'll do is I'll just move. I've not got my normal chair or anything here because like I said, I'm not normally down here making videos. I'll move a few bits around so I can get the camera where we can actually see the screen properly and not at an angle. Ooh, there we go. Now it does mean that I am going to be a little bit on the... There we are, that's quite nice. I'll see if I can get you zoomed in a little bit. There we go. Now I think that actually looks really, really good on this all green screen monitor. The blacks look absolutely fantastic. We'll have to just move things over a little bit and it might knock the computer off. Oh no, we've got away with it. Let's have a quick play of it on here and then we'll move on to another game, because that's really what this is about, is just having a look at some games and seeing how much fun they are. So I'll hit that for normal again, and just look how nice that looks on this green screen monitor compared with... And it's actually, it's tricky, this game. It's not like a really easy Space Invaders copy. It's actually quite tricky. Especially when you think you're pressing one button and you're not. You're actually hitting the button next to it, and that's why you're not going anywhere. Like I keep trying to press 1 now to fire my missile, and I keep hitting 2 instead because I'm trying to concentrate on moving between 5 and 8 at the same time. But I actually think the graphics on this, for what the computer is, look really, really good. Anyway, let's try something else. I'll reset the computer. There we go. And we're back to our cursor there. So what else shall we try? I've got Muncher here. Now I was playing this, having a play with this earlier, and this is hard. This is very, very hard. Right, so let's go load, and we will load Muncher. And obviously with this we don't have the issue of the screen keep going off or anything. This will just run as it is. So again, I'll pause the video and I'll come back as we've actually got the thing to load up. So back in a sec. Right, I'll bring you back now. We've got a few seconds I think to finish, so hopefully this is going to load and not crash. Couple of seconds left to go. There we go. And this is Muncher from Silversoft, who I think produced quite a lot of the earlier like ZX81 games. And as you can see, we've got a Pac-Man clone with a name like Muncher. There's nothing going much else, but it doesn't look bad. It looks, again, considering the limitations of the actual computer. I mean, this obviously is going to be a 16K game. Considering the limitations of the actual computer, it doesn't look terrible. Unfortunately, the controls on this are horrendous. I've actually not managed to get the I've not managed to complete the thing. I've barely managed to get him off the first line. But we'll have a quick go now and see how we can do. So let's get in here. There's nothing there we can really alter, so or can we actually slow it down? Let's have a press A. Yeah, enter speed 0 to 9. Now I think 0 might be the quickest. I'm not sure. I'm going to hit 9. Which maze? And yeah, that's the other thing. You've got a choice of 3 mazes on there, which again is quite nice for what you're actually working on. Right, there we go. Let's see. And yeah, I died pretty much straight away. Oh, we're doing a little bit better now. And again, I'm having the usual problem of having to look down at the keyboard rather than... Oh, I'm dead. Look down at the keyboard rather than actually playing the game properly, which is, like I said, looking up at the screen, which is, again, I'm dead. Is not easy. The keys that are actually used for the control on this are not easy either. You've got A to go right, D to go left, W to go up, and X to go down. So again, it's not the easiest. It's not the easiest game to control, but it actually, for what it is, it looks really, really impressive. If you consider, like I said, if you consider the limitations of the ZX81, it is definitely apart from the horrible controls, and that is really down to the fact that you've got a horrible keyboard that's got very little control, and you're having to look down at the keyboard to see what you're doing. The actual gameplay of it is really, really good. You know, the way that the maze is, the way that the ghosts react and everything like that is actually, you know, really quite nice. It's just the fact that the rest of it's a bit... the keyboard control is what lets it down, really. In fact, it's the first time I think I've actually cleared a part of the maze. And going up can be a... Oops. Going up can be a bit tricky. Like this, where I'm getting stuck. There, I'm dead. But anyway, that is Muncher for the ZX81. let's try something else. We'll pop off that, we'll get the computer reset, and what else shall we try? In fact, let's try a 1K game, just to show you what a 1K game looks like in comparison. And I've got some 1K games on here, so what we'll do, we'll load a 1K game. Now this should be very, very quick to load. New line. I've got a few 1K games on this one file, so I'll have to just quickly pause it once it's loaded. Let's see how long this is going to take to load. It shouldn't be very long. 1K games usually are pretty damn quick. And that one seems to have crashed. Let's try something else. I haven't tried all these games either, they're just what I've downloaded so far. Excuse me. So I'm not going to guarantee up to now that everything I'm going to try is going to load. In fact, I've had some real problems with 3D Monster Maze. Now that one doesn't seem to be wanting to load. Just bear with me. Oh, there we go. It is now. I think we just had a bit of a gap in the tape, because obviously these have been digitised off a tape. It will be one of the multi-tapes. Again, I don't think that one's decided it wanted to load. Nope. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. We've actually got that to come up as a listing. Right. Shift rub out that, and let's try and run it. See if anything's going to work. We've got a dot. This is like a drawing program or something, because we can use the cursor keys basically just to that's not bad for 1K. Like I say, it's not really a game so far, as in like a little drawing type of program. In fact, let's break that and we'll have a quick look at the there we go. We'll list it. And that's all it is. It really is that simple. So we've got a little bit of, what have we got? 13 lines of basic basically to do that. Anyway, let's look at something a little bit more advanced. We'll reset that again. Let's have a look at, let's try Asteroid, shall we? And load a little quotation marks, enter, and let's load Asteroids. Right, this is going to take a minute to load, so again I'll just pause the video and we'll come back just before it loads. Right, we'll come back now because it's just got a few seconds left to go, and hopefully the Asteroids will load. So there. Ooh, no, it didn't like that, did it? So we've had a misload there. Bear with me a second and I'll try that again and we'll come back. Unfortunately, that's about the third attempt with Asteroids, and I did have this actually working earlier, so I don't know what's quite gone on with that. But sometimes the ZX can be a bit like that, you know. All your chakra points have had to have aligned, and you know the moon has to be in the third quadrant sometimes for software to actually load on it. But anyway, we'll try something else. I'll try loading another piece of software up, and we'll come back and we'll have a look at that. So back in a sec. Right, we are back and we have Breakout. So let's have a look how well this works. So we've got press 1 practice game, press 2 progressive game, and press 3 for an acceleration game. We might as well just have a practice game just to see how well this works. So let's press 1. I haven't even looked what the controls are yet. Speed 1 to 4, slow to fast. So let's start nice and slow, because we're going to have to figure out what the controls for this are. Oh right, there we go. Oops. I presume it's A and Z. No, it's A and something. So what's the other, right, we've got A goes up, so what, you'd think it would be Z to go down, wouldn't you? Let's try that one more time. Let's try A and X. 1. Nope. So what goes down? Let's try L. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's one way to do it. Can you knock the ball? No, you can't. So you're a bit stuck when you're like this. You're just going to knock a hole through it. In fact, let's crash it and then let's perhaps load one of the other types of game up. Oops. There we go. That's a bit better. In fact, that's not a terrible... I'm terrible at playing it, but that's not a terrible Breakout. I don't know about the double bat thing, but I don't think I'd be able to play it much faster than this, to be honest. But as Breakout games go, that's not too bad. As I said, like I was saying before, if this was the only computer you could get your hands on, it was not terrible. You know, you could play some reasonable, excuse me, some reasonable games on it. Okay, it's not, you know, arcade quality or anything, but if it's all you had, it was playable. We'll have a go at seeing if we can get one more game to play up before I wrap this up. So I'll pause and I'll see if I can get one more game to load up on the computer. So back in a sec. Right, okay, well, it actually loaded. I had to just fiddle about with the volume control settings a couple of times until I got it right. But what would be playing a bit of ZX81 games without playing a bit of the killer app? So yeah, I've managed to get it loaded up. What we've got here is the old 3D Monster Maze. Some people say really it was like the first like 3D horror kind of video game, all the way back. I think, I can't actually remember, I think it's 82 that 3D Monster Maze came out, but it could have indeed been 81. And really what they could do with the ZX81, it is quite, you know, it really was quite impressive, really. I'll let you just see this as it scrolls through. If you've never, well, everyone will have seen 3D Monster Maze. There's enough people show it on YouTube, but even so, like I said, it wouldn't be complete, this little video, without playing some 3D Monster Maze. And I do think that this green screen, it just really brings the ZX81 out. You know, it's really nice and easy to read. And not just having the basic black and white, actually having the green there. I think it adds something to it. Anyway, let's, so I said, if you are any doubt, then press stop. If instructions are needed, press list. Right, so let's press list, because I can't remember what the keys are. Alright, so it does just use the direction keys, the arrow keys. I think the wind's getting up as well, because it's making my patio doors in my workshop rattle. We'll let this finish off. I can't remember whether it loads automatically or I have to press anything now. there we go. It's now going to go off for a minute while it actually computes the maze. It takes so much of the computing power of the ZX81 to actually compute the maze that it can't actually draw anything on screen while it's doing this. This is why you get the whole mists of time thing. It's literally the computer doing what the computer has to do to get this to work. There we go, it's loaded. So, let us have a look. And basically what we have to do is go around the 3D maze and see how long we can survive before we get eaten by a T-Rex. Rex lies in wait, so he's near us. Let's leg it down here. Let's see how long we can go before we indeed do get eaten by not bad graphics, to be fair, considering what we're working with. Remember, the ZX81 has no graphics capability whatsoever. All this is just done with characters. I seem to be doing fairly well avoiding Mr. T-Rex at the moment. Yeah. Alright. Oh. Is he getting close? Yeah, I'm being chased by a T-Rex at the moment. Yep. Oops, and I can't get away from... No, and I'm dead. 50 points, that's not too bad. So yeah, basically that is 3D Monster Maze, which, like I said, it was really the killer app that came out for the ZX81. And even now, it's a bit of fun to play, you know. I do quite enjoy messing about with some of these early games like 3D Monster Maze, and that Breakout's not too bad, and I've got quite a few different versions of that. Remember, I said if you have a look on that website, there's about 600 titles for the ZX81. Now, they're not all... I'll just get that reset. They're not all games. Some of that stuff is... you know, serious software. You know, people actually use the ZX81, or at least that was the idea, that you could use the ZX81. So, you know, there's databases, there's spreadsheets, there's language courses, you can get different programming languages, you name it. There is a lot of software out there for this ridiculously simple little computer. I mean, it really was... Well, it was the cheapest way into computing as a hobby back when this was out, back in 1981. You couldn't really get a computer cheaper than this, you know. It was, if you couldn't afford a ZX81 back then, you were struggling, you weren't having a computer at home. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. This really was just a quick little, just final show that, you know, we've got the computer all up and running. We can run some software on it, and just a quick show to, you know, showing people how I run software on it. You know, I said using basically a e-waste laptop. This is brilliant for the Spectrum. I use it with my Dragon 32. I use it like with the TRS-8. Anything that basically you just want to emulate a cassette player and play WAV files to an old computer. Some of the older computers that have like remote cassette control and things like that, it's not really the best things, but a lot of the times you can get away with it and you can get the software to run just using it like this. Like I say, you don't actually need all the remote control that some of the cassette players actually provided. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this final video on this ZX81. I was going to pack this away and put it up in my storage with my other ZX81s and what have you, but I've actually decided this one is going to go up into my office on my computer display shelf, because I do have a monitor and things up there, and occasionally they come down off that shelf and get a little time to play. So I think this one's going to go up on that shelf and get looked at, and I can look at it when I'm up in the office. So like I say, I'll leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this, like I said, final video on this project. We'll get on to something else. I'm itching to have a look at one of the laptops that I picked up from that car boot sale, and I've got some other computers which keep meaning to dig out and just see what they need doing with them. So we'll probably dig one of them out in the next video. So I will say thanks for watching and goodbye.